turnaround strategies, they are very essential. So let's understand why is turnaround strategy essential and what is the meaning of turnaround strategy. Turnaround strategy refers to transformation of a loss-making unit, okay, into a profitable one. Let's understand how this can be done. And one of our very good examples is Tata Teleservices, which made a huge losses, and later on to get the company back, it resorted to turnaround strategy, okay, and the losses were minimized and now it is a profitable venture from the year 2012-13 to today 2020. The first way of turnaround or the essentials of turnaround is communication. Okay, see, all the departments of turnaround strategies, there has to be a good communication between all levels of management. So they all can mutually discuss, have team meetings, and they discuss where things are going wrong. Are you understanding? The second one that I have is availability of resources. Now, sometimes for turnaround, they require good amount of capital or lots of things, and or maybe a skilled manpower is required. So whatever resources are required, either they will arrange for it or they will take loans and make sure that those things are available for them to achieve their goals. The third point is very important, and leadership. The CEO of the company, okay, the chief executive officer of the company, have to be motivated all the time. Okay, he has to have dynamic person with creative skills to handle the turnaround situation. It is very, very important for a long term approach. Okay, the fifth point we have is the fourth point we have is long term approach. See, turnaround is not going to happen just for a point of view of 6 months. We have to see that from today and for another 10 years, how is the turnaround strategy going to benefit the firm? There are so many firms who have made a profits of 1,800 crores, then came down to zero, and then again became 2,500 crores company, because that was a vision. It's a long term approach that you have to keep in mind. The fifth point I have is review of the situation, government policies that affect the firm, competitor strategies, customers response, machinery and technology, management labor things. All of this are the review of the situations where you want to focus now, and the turnaround is essential. Also, for this thing, or to achieve turnaround, I required support from various parties. Who are my parties? My employees, my suppliers, my shareholders, my dealers, my government authorities, the foreign institutions. All of that are my support from various parties. The seventh point I have is viability of business. One cannot revive a business which has no prospects. It is better to close down a business where there are no prospects. So only you will do turnaround where you think you can come up or you can get out of this mess and make sure that your company is earning a lot of profits. So that is known as viability of business. कि business चलने वाला ही है तो ही मेहनत करो, लग रहा है कि नहीं इससे अच्छा है कुछ और करो. So that is known as viability of business. And the eighth point I have is planning and control. For a turnaround strategy to be effective, you need to have perfect planning and control. You have to make sure your team who is planning and controlling is really good and they are taking over कि okay starting में ही कुछ गड़बड़ लग रहा है तो वो plan change करो. मतलब plan A नहीं चल रहा है तो plan B के पे focus करो और make sure you are controlling this. So all these were the essentials of turnaround strategy. Now we are doing is steps in turnaround strategy. So what are the steps in turnaround strategy that is going to help a firm? The first one is setting up a committee. Okay, the CEO will decide कि marketing department कौन head करेगा, finance department कौन head करेगा. So what will be the steps of a turnaround committee? Okay, उसके बाद identifying the causes of losses. ये internal losses क्यों हुए हैं? मतलब आपने नॉन वायबल बिजनेस में एंटर किया, You did not focus on your existing products, और वो अभी नहीं चल रहे हैं, you know, बहुत सारे consumer complaints आ रहे हैं, you know. This could be the internal causes of losses. There could be external causes of losses. The second one, that could be changes in government policies or technological changes or prolonged recession in the market. The third point I have is investigation of causes. फिर आपने थोड़ा और investigate किया और पता चला that workers were not getting that support, और जो अपना कस्टमर केयर सर्विस है वो बहुत ओके है, मतलब वो उसको बहुत ज़रूरत है रिवाइव करने के लिए. उसके बाद you came up with alternative solutions. Either you would downsize the workforce, बहुत सारे काम करने के एम्प्लॉइज हैं, यू डोंट रिक्वायर दैट मच, बहुत कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, या फोकसिंग ऑन द प्रॉफिटेबल कस्टमर्स, you know, you are not doing that right strategy. So all of that would be your you know, alternative solutions. उसके बाद है analysis of alternatives. So what are you going to do in this? That you want to analyze के benefits और cost क्या है. Are you understanding? So the benefits to be analyzed in terms of returns or performance, if you are going to start up with a new thing, or the existing things, what are you going to change? How is the benefit going to be? The cost to be analyzed in terms of money, manpower, etc. All of this is analysis of alternatives. उसके बाद I have a selection of best alternatives. What will I do? The management must also consider the viability of the alternatives, the availability of funds, you know, the support from employees. I'll be selecting the best alternatives from them. The seventh point I have is communication of turnaround strategy. Finally, the CEO has to tell all the groups and the departments that this is the turnaround strategy that we are implementing, and all of you will have to follow these steps too. उसके बाद you will organize and allocate resources. जिसको जो डिपार्टमेंट में जो जो चीज लग रहा है वो सीईओ ऑर्गेनाइज करके देंगे. उसके बाद इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, वो चीज हुई नहीं हुई, कैसे हुई, was the turnaround strategy you know, successful. It has to keep talking with the financial institutions and all the other investors. उसके बाद इज यू विल आइदर पीरियोडिकली रिव्यू, हर 2-2 महीने में आप देखोगे कि वो टर्न अराउंड स्ट्रेटेजी के क्या फायदा हुआ नहीं हुआ. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस वुड कम अंडर रिव्यू. So this was the steps in turnaround strategy. We first set up a turnaround committee. Then you identify the causes of losses. You investigate the causes. You have alternative solutions. You analyze those alternatives. You select the best alternatives. You communicate of the turnaround strategy. You organize an allocation of resources. You do implementations and you do review.